Hey everybody, welcome to the New Moon and Leo yoga class. So I'm Amanda, I'll be taking you through the class today. I'm very excited for this one. Maybe I'm impartial because I am a Leo and I just love everything that this sign stands for, but the theme is just so magical and I'm very excited to share it with you because I feel like it's something that everybody kind of deals with. This moon is all about, and sun, sun sign, is all about expressing yourself, being creative, being brave, and letting yourself put what you have, all of your natural talents that are inside of you, out into the world. So we're going to be doing that through yoga today, kind of working through any of the blockages you have to unleash that natural expression that you were born with. Leo is the sign that's associated with the sun. It's associated with the lion. So we're going to be doing lion's pose in the class. Leo rules the heart chakra, so we're going to be doing a lot of heart opening poses in this class. It also rules the back and the spine, so again, opening that chest, kind of working our back, that's going to be the main theme of the class today. It also helps bring in that inspiration to help you bring out your expression. So the main three themes of today's class are bravery, creativity, and self-love. So again, the main theme is creativity and finding that courage to express yourself truly, but sometimes it's blocked by either our own limiting beliefs of fear or low self-esteem, kind of low image about yourself, like fearing that people are going to judge you. They kind of tie into each other. So we're going to work through pushing through the fear and pushing through the self-worth, because both of them are limiting factors that you create. They're not from opposing outside forces. You are the one who puts those barriers up to stop yourself from expressing. So you're either scared that you're going to be judged for something, or you can't find that worth to let yourself express it into the world. So into this class today, I want you to think about maybe an intention or something that you've been kind of keeping inside that you want to let out. The energy now really supports that self-expression and putting out your ideas, your natural talents, your gifts into the world. And you may be thinking oh, well, I'm not a creative person, I don't have anything to express. Everybody has natural talents in their own way of expressing things, and it may be different for every person. So maybe you don't consider yourself artsy. That's not what this theme is at all. You might be able to express yourself by creating spreadsheets or creating to-do lists, or you're more of a leader and you create tasks and things and you're very good at organization. That's a form of self-expression. You're creating it, you're building it from nothing. So if you can think about an area in your life that you kind of put your creativity into, kind of just remember that while we go through today's flow. If you have something inside of you that you've been keeping in and you find it hard to put out in the world, whether that be a business idea, maybe you want to start a podcast, but you have a fear that people are going to judge you for it, you're not going to get any views, whatever, or you have a fear of something with a person. It might be an experience, it might be a romance, you're afraid to put yourself out there or do something, a trip. That's the thing that we're targeting today. So if you can come up with those ideas as we flow, and we can use the body to kind of work through our blockages to feel comfortable and feel good expressing our natural gifts. Yeah, so it's all about finding that confidence to actually take action. New moons are all about creating, all about taking action, so it really aligns up with what this Leo sign is bringing to it. So I want you to remember that in today's class. Set an intention to push through those blockages and let anything that you're holding inside out. So you can meet me on the mat, we'll get into it. All you need are 2 blocks. If you need blocks, you don't need them. So you can meet me on the mat when you're ready. All you need is your body. If you want to have a block or 2, you can. I will give you some options during the class. So just grab any blocks or any props that you would think you would need and just keep them near your mat, and we will get into it. Okay, so you can meet me in any sort of seated position that you would like to start in. We are going to go into meditation for 2 minutes before we go into our flow. I'm going to start in a seated hero's pose. Again, anything that you want. If you're going to be doing a pose, I also recommend adding in some blocks if you have any sort of pains or ailments in your knees. Hero's pose, looks like I'm easily just sitting down, but I am sitting on a block because it will take the pain off of my knees. My right knee is a little bit so I'll be sitting on a block. You can also sit on a bolster or a pillow or put 2 blocks as well. It takes the tension out of your knees. So take a second to find that comfortable position. You can put your hands on your knees facing down if you want to ground yourself a little bit more, or you can bring the palms facing up towards the sky if you want to be open to receiving anything. Gently close your eyes And just take a few seconds to settle inward. To relax the shoulders and all of the facial muscles. So if you have any tension in your jaw, just release that. If you feel your eyes or eyebrows are holding on to anything, you can soften them. And letting the body just sink into this position. Becoming aware of your body on the mat, how it feels to be pressing against the mat, against the floor. Becoming aware of your breath here, taking some time to notice, but not change it. So just notice how you're breathing in and how you're breathing out. Feel the air come inside you, and then feel the air exit out through your nose. Bringing up the themes of this class again: bravery, creativity, self-expression, and loving and trusting yourself enough to let those natural talents, let yourself express anything that you're feeling. So if you can set an intention right now, maybe it could be break through fears, or you were brave. And just find some space here to let any thoughts that are coming up, anything that came up when I said those words, creativity, expression, any ideas that you're holding inside of you, or something you feel like the world should see in this lifetime from you, something you're good at, something you want to try, anything that's coming up when I say these words, just keep it in your mind while we go through this flow today. We'll take a second to kind of come back to our bodies here. You can feel your hands, the fingertips touching your knees, or the backs of your hands touching your knees. You can invite some motion into your neck, keeping the eyes closed for a few seconds. You can roll the head out one way, roll it the other way. And we can start moving the fingers around and gently start to blink the eyes open. So now that we've taken some time to just come into the present and focus on what's going on the mat, we're going to get into it. And we're going to start with our lion's pose and lion's breath. So I want to precursor this. The reason we're doing it, it is the pose of Leo, so it's great to do in this class, but the reason it is the pose of Leo is it helps push past your fear of looking weird. Basically, I'm going to look a little funny. I'm going to break it down into two ways. You could do it the first way, or if you want to do it the full way, which would be the second way, you can totally go for it. No one's going to judge you. You can watch me do it a few times before we get into it. So, lion's breath is a pranayama technique. It's a breathing technique. It's a way of changing your breath and noticing your breath, and it actually relieves anxiety and tension in the body. So that's another really good benefit of why we're doing it. I will show you from the side because I'm going to be making some facial expressions and you're going to look at me and be like, what is this chick doing? But it's to push past that, kind of laugh at yourself, let yourself be able to do this, because if you can do this here, then you can do anything. You can put yourself out there, you can express. It works with the throat chakra, it works with your vocal cords and letting yourself kind of let your expression out. So this can be done in hero's pose as well, by keeping the hands on the knees. So if you're going to take hero's pose to do the lion's breath today, you're going to keep your fingertips on your knees and just lean forward a bit. That's the pose, nothing too crazy. I personally like the second version, which is almost like an extended child's pose. Bring the knees out, hands on the mat, and then you lean forward like this. So those are the two ways you can do it today. So if you take a second to find what you find more comfortable. With this pose, we're basically looking like a lion that's roaring. That's what we're doing today. We're gonna work on breathing a certain way to let out our own roar in the pose of the lion. So the body, what we're gonna be doing when we do this pose, we inhale just like normal, and then when we exhale, the body is gonna push the hands either into your knees or into the mat. So you want nice wide fingers, think of them like paws, claws. You wanna have them here or here. Once you're pressing on the ground, you're gonna roll the shoulder blades back so you can open the chest. So every time you exhale in this pose, you're gonna push on the ground and open up the chest. That's just gonna ensure we're working our chest and opening the heart chakra while we do this roar. So, like I said, the inhale is just a basic inhale, and then when we exhale, which I'll explain how we do it, you're pushing your fingertips in and opening the chest. So, lion's breath, we're making the sound ha. We're gonna exhale and we're gonna go like you should be able to hear yourself pronounce that H and the A. We're gonna take a second and practice it, and then I'll tell you what we're gonna do with our face. So lion's breath, getting into that position again. We got the paws on the ground, we're opening the chest up. We're gonna inhale just like normal. So we're gonna inhale through the nose, deep breath in. And then when we exhale, we let it out with our mouth and go ha. So you go. I want you to take the air into your belly. The deeper you breathe in, the more you can let out. It's a very expressive breath. So you inhale with the nose into the belly, and on the exhale, just like that, you push out the ha. So that's the breathing, but to make it a little bit more expressive and to go into the full version of lion, what you're gonna do is you're gonna literally let your tongue hang out of your mouth. You're gonna open your mouth on the exhale and you're gonna let your tongue go, ha, just like that. And I know it looks funny, but we're gonna do it to push past that discomfort that you're feeling. So the next step again would be you inhale with the nose, bring it into your belly. And on the exhale, let the air out just like that, making the ha noise as you do it. The final step is the eyes. So we got mouth and eyes. With this one, we want to look up at our third eye. So you literally are going to take your eyeballs and look them up here. If that's a little uncomfortable, you can just look up. So you can look up or look at your third eye. So your eyes are almost going to be looking at each other, and you have your tongue hanging out of your mouth and you're making noises, and everyone's like, but that's why we're doing it. We're gonna push through it together. So you can watch me do it one more time before we get into it. I'm breaking it down a lot because I really want you to try this today. So fingertips are down, opening the chest up. I'm gonna inhale like normal. On the exhale, and be as loud as you want. Let yourself let go of anything. Before we get into it, take a second. If you want to set an intention with this practice, every time you let go and do the ha, release something that you're holding. If you're holding on to fear or situations or people, you can release it with the ha. So I want you to do this for 7 breaths. We're gonna do it together. We'll take a second to get set up. I'll guide you through all 7 breaths. And once you finish those 7 breaths, take a few seconds to close your eyes and just breathe normal and see how you feel, okay? So again, I'll take you through 7 breaths, 7 rounds. Then I want you to take a second, close your eyes, and just feel it. I'll probably mute myself so you can hear yourself because I really want you to do it, okay? So just take a second, let's get in position. Again, hands are either on the knees or on the mat. We lean into it and we open the chest up as you lean forward. You're like a lion perching on a rock. You can do it with the eyes closed, or you can go for the full version with the eyes up. So here we go. Deep breath in. Noticing how you feel physically, if there are any differences internally. My head started sweating a bit because I was nervous to do that on camera, so that's how I feel. feel the change in your body, any shift. You did release energy, even if you don't feel it now, you let something go there. So that is our lion's breath. We're only doing it here. I do have an option to hit the lion's breath during our flow later. So just so you know the position, again, you can either do it in hero's pose or sit just like this. But we're gonna make our way onto our butt to kind of loosen up the legs after sitting in this position for a little long. So coming on to seated, I'm gonna shake out the legs in front of you. You're like, yay, the crazy lady stopped doing the weird breath and now we can actually do the flow. So just shake out the ankles, the legs. You can leave them straight, you keep them bent. Hero's pose can be kind of intense on the thighs, so we're just gonna spend a few seconds letting the legs circulate. While we do that, we're gonna warm up the upper body because we are working on opening our chest and our back today. So I want you guys to take a second and bring the arms up over the head. Deep breath in, and on the exhale, we're going to cactus the arms back and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, we bring the arms up. Exhale, we go for that cactus back. We squeeze, think about driving the elbows down your back towards the earth. Exhale, so inhale, we bring the arms back up. Exhale, we squeeze. Let's go for 2 more at your own breath. Let's leave the arms up in the cactus, but just bring them up an inch or 2. We're going to bring the arms down and bring the arms up. We're just kind of working the rotator cuff so you can go as controlled as you want. Feel the joints moving here. Okay, bringing the arms back down. Take a second to roll the ankles out, shake the head out. And we're gonna make our way onto tabletop. So if you need a few more seconds to shake out the legs after hero's pose, go right ahead, but you can meet me on tabletop. Okay, let's take a second here to get situated. You wanna have your palms underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. We're gonna hit those cat-cows. As usual, I love to warm up the spine before any type of flow, so keep the fingertips nice and wide. Inhale, I want you to pull the chest down, around the back here, and look up slightly, bringing your neck to open. On the exhale, we're gonna start to round and tuck everything, the shoulders, the pelvis, and we're pushing the hands against the mat. Inhale, we're going back down to cat, so opening up. Exhale, push against the mat. And again, we'll take some flows at your own pace. Inhale when the chest drops, and exhale when the back rounds. I invite you to take any movements that feel good to you. Sometimes I like to bring my forearm down for a mini twist. My back always cracks when I do this. Roll over the wrist a bit, add some motion. Take anything you think you need. Again, embracing our bodies, not being embarrassed to do anything that looks weird, pushing past that fear of being judged, being perceived as something that's not true. And we'll slowly come back to tabletop. And we're gonna get ready to go into our first downward dog. So my toes are tucking under, my fingertips are spread wide, and they're not flat against the mat. They're kind of perched up like this to keep my wrists safe. So tuck the toes, get the hands ready. Deep breath in. We lift up and start to push the hips back behind you. Think about your hips being lifted. You want to be in a V shape here. It's okay if your heels don't touch the mat. We can start to walk side to side. Walk the dog a bit. Open up the back of the calves and the hips. And just take a second here. Notice your breath. nice, big, calm breaths in today's practice. Okay, we're going to do some toe taps. So we're going to take the right hand, lift it off the mat, and tap onto your shin, your knee, your toe, whatever you can reach on the left side. Bring it back down. Inhale, we lift the left, go to the right. So we're just tapping. And we'll do one more on each side. So we're going to take the option here to open up your dog into a wild thing pose. So I'm going to explain how we do that. If you don't feel you're warmed up enough, take some extra movements here. You can just kind of shift side to side. Maybe you lift the left leg up and bring it behind this one. Just kind of play around with some movements if you want to. Wild thing is opening up your dog. So basically, to do this, we're going to bend our knees and look at our thumbs. I'm going to take my right foot, I'm going to lift it off the mat as I pivot my left leg to the side. My arm comes up, and here I am, flipped over. It works a lot on the shoulder, so if this is too intense for you, you can go back to different downward dog variations here. But this one inspires creativity, so I wanted to add it in today. You can look at the hand if you can, and we'll come back to our downward dog. Take a second to breathe. And we're going to flip it on to the other side. So my left leg slowly comes off the mat. My knees are bent. I'm looking at my thumbs. Left leg comes up and behind me. I plant it and I extend. Feeling that creativity flow through you here. Inhale, we come back to that dog. Take any final movements you need here. Deep breath in. We're going to bring up that right leg all the way up in the air and stack it over the hips for a second. Exhale, we straighten that leg. And then inhale, we're going to bring that knee to the nose and go right into a lunge. So we're going to step forward. You can come to the outside of your foot if your hips are tight, or you can try to use your core to control it. So coming into a lunge here. Just taking a second to drop that back leg if you need to, or we can go right into warrior one. So take a second here. Sometimes when you're upside down for a little bit, you need a second to breathe. Otherwise, we're gonna lift right up into warrior one. So warrior one, think about squeezing your thighs together before you rise. Tuck the tailbone in. We're gonna come up into this position. Hips should be facing forward, so you can bring your left arm forward to even out those hips. Arms up over the head. Let's sink into this pose. Taking a second to breathe. Make sure you're not squeezing your toes onto the mat. Let's release that tension here. Releasing anything that doesn't serve us. Good, looking forward, keeping that chin tucked in. We're gonna take a deep breath in and we're gonna open up into warrior two. So we're gonna pivot that back left foot open and we're gonna keep the bend in the right knee here. You wanna make sure your knee is always stacked on top of your ankle and the arms are nice and long. Make sure your knee isn't caving in like this. Think about pushing it up against an invisible wall to keep that alignment. Leo is the card in the tarot that is associated with strength. So we're definitely working the strength by keeping this leg bent, all of our weight on that right side. Okay, we're gonna bring the arms behind us for a bind of your choice. So a bind is bringing the shoulder blades back, squeezing the hands together and opening them up. If that's too intense, you can just grab your elbows like so, just trying to keep that chest open. So find one that's gonna work for you. We're gonna get ready for humble warrior. So with humble warrior, we choose the bind that we're going with, keep the chest open, and we're gonna hinge at the hips, leaning into your right thigh. So here I go, I'm leaning forward, opening up my chest. Change the bind at any time. So if you wanna face your fears today and try to go for the first option just for a few seconds, and then you can ease into the assisted bind. Find your breath here. We're gonna hold it for a few seconds. focusing on that strength on the right side of your body. Feel yourself grounded against the floor. You are connected. Inhale, deep breath in, and then exhale, we're gonna push the right foot against the ground to rise, coming up nice and powerful. Going back into that warrior two position here. We're gonna flip the right palm up, and we're gonna get ready for our reverse warrior. So bringing the arm back, keeping that chest open, closing the eyes here, feeling powerful, feeling the confidence in your body. And just breathe. Coming back into warrior two, we're gonna face the body to the side and go into a wide-legged fold. Hey guys. So take a few seconds here to decompress the spine, let the upper body hang heavy. The toes should be pointing forward, so if you need to adjust them here, go ahead. You can take a step wider if you need to. Sometimes different poses, depending on your legs. I have long legs, so I find sometimes I have to shift around, and it's okay if you have to. Breathe it out here, moving side to side. We're gonna come up, so to get out of a wide-legged fold, you're gonna bend the knees slightly. Take your hands and put them in your hip sockets and push against to rise. So I know I'm facing behind you, but I want you guys to see this from the back before we do it from the front. So we are gonna go into a goddess pose. So a goddess pose is basically, you're gonna keep your toes pointed outward and sit into it. I'll just show you from the front so you can see. So with this one, we're coming into the pose just like so. So this is goddess. Fun one, right? We're working on strength today, I told you. So I'm gonna flip back around. We're gonna go into another bind to open up the chest. So with this pose, again, you can take the bind of choice. If you wanna work on grabbing the elbows today, you can. You can always just grab onto some fabric like this if it's not accessible to you with your back, or we can go for this bind. So we're gonna take a second, open up that chest and sink a little bit deeper. And release that bind. We're gonna take the left thigh, and you can always just grab onto some fabric here on your clothing. And then we're gonna look over the left shoulder for a twist. Hey guys. Inhale, bring the arms down. And we'll switch sides. So we'll go onto the right side, hook that arm or grab whatever you can. We're working on opening up the shoulder blades with this. And then we're gonna look over the shoulder. I know those thighs are working here. You can move side to side. We're gonna take one more second here. And then you can slowly come up, put a micro bend in your knee. Point the toes forward. We're gonna step up into a forward fold. So you can walk up there, or if you wanna take that big step like so, go right ahead. Gonna drop over, drop the body down. Let the body hang heavy. Inhale, we'll go for a halfway lift. So press the palms against the shins, flattening out your spine and bringing the shoulder blades back and down. You just want to get a flat back here. Exhale, forward fold. You can add any motions that feel good to you on this side. Inhale, we're going to come to mountain pose. So press against the floor as you rise. Arms up over the head and let them come down your side. So take a second to engage your core here. So make sure your back isn't arched too much. You have the tailbone tucked in, core's nice and tight. We're gonna shift our weight onto the left side of our body, keep the core engaged, and bring up the right leg. So you may need a focus point to stare at to keep your balance, and that's fine. We're pushing past fear today, so we're gonna focus on grounding ourselves with some balancing poses here. We're gonna hold this leg out for just a few seconds, and then we're gonna go into warrior three by pushing the right leg back, leaning forward. Keep the eyes focused on one spot. Hold it for just a few breaths. And we get ready to step it back and bring that knee down. Ooh, got a little bit of a rest here, right? So now we're gonna get into a low crescent lunge. So just always check to make sure the knee is stacked on top of your ankle, because sometimes coming down from warrior three, your leg might look like this, and you want it stacked. So stack up those legs, squeeze the thighs together. Think about compressing them into each other, and we are gonna bring the arms up over the head. Open that chest and look up here. Deep breaths in. You can keep the arms over the head, or option, almost our favorite move today, we're gonna take another bind. So you can grab the elbows back behind each other, or open up by pulling the shoulder blades down, interlocking the fingers, and letting them slide down an inch or two till you feel that deep opening in your chest. You can look up here. Our exhale will come out of that bind back into our low lunge. Taking the left foot, we're gonna bring it back until you're just on your knees, just like so. And we are going to go into a half camel. So half camel means we're only bringing one arm behind us. Full camel is when you grab your legs like so. So we're gonna take our right arm, bring it back, and bring the left arm up like so. Take a second. We're opening up the chest with these back bends today. You want to squeeze your glutes to protect your back. Exhale, let's come up. Take a second, let the spine realign. And we're gonna plant our left hand on the ground. Take the right leg, extend it back. And we're gonna open up into a stargazer pose. So you can look up at your fingertips here. Feeling yourself lengthen, you can bring the arm above the head to get more of a side stretch. When you're ready, bring that arm down and come into tabletop. Push up into downward dog right away. We can take your vinyasa of choice. So we're gonna lower down either in a chaturanga, or you can do it on your knees. You can lower it down like this. We're gonna lower it down, and then a back bend of choice. So I'm gonna take up dog here. You can bring the legs on the floor. You can go into a baby cobra, whatever you would like to do for the back bend. And then we're gonna go into downward dog to rest. So that was our right side. We're gonna do the same thing on the left side of the body. We're gonna take it nice and slow on the left side just so you can get used to it one more time. And then we'll pick it up for one round on each side. So that's pretty much the outline if you guys wanna know what we're going into. Take a second to notice any change, any muscles that feel a little lighter. If you need to, you can come down and take a child's pose for a second. Totally okay. Anytime you rest in downward dog, you can always do that. But when you're ready, we're gonna start by going into wild thing again on each side as an option. You don't have to do it, but let's start. So we're gonna bend the knees, look at the thumbs, left arm stays planted, right arm comes up, right leg comes up, opening up. One breath, and we'll come back to downward dog. Bend the knees, press the right arm down, lift the left leg up, and open to the left side. Coming back to downward dog when you are ready. Inhale, we lift that left leg up, we stack the hips on top of each other. Exhale, we straighten the leg and drive it towards your nose into that lunge. Again, you can rise all the way up into warrior one, or you can take a low lunge and come up from that. So, coming up when you're ready. Evening out the hips, making sure both hip bones are facing right in front of you, hands above the head. Opening up into warrior two, we pivot the back foot down, let the arms lengthen and keep the knee bent as you look forward. Take some time to settle into this pose, our first standing pose after being down. Keeping the legs the way they are, we go into our bind of choice, pulling the arms back, grabbing the shoulders, whatever you can do here. And we're gonna hinge forward, staying in line with the front thigh. Goal is to get that chest close to the knee if you can. Keep the integrity of the warrior stance. Inhale, we press against the floor to rise, keeping that warrior pose. We're gonna flip the front palm and lean back into reverse warrior. Keep that chest open. Bring yourself back up into warrior two. Point the feet in front of you, forward fold. Keep a micro bend in the knees and drop the head down heavy. Remember to come up, we lightly bend the knees and we push against our hip sockets to rise. We're going right into goddess, so knees come down. You want to make sure they're in track with your toes, so if you got to adjust the toes, adjust the feet, make sure they're lined up. You just don't want your feet like pointing in front of you and then your knees going outward, because that will cause some tension. Sink in a little deeper if you can here. We can take that bind, you can open up the chest. Right arm is going to hook around my left section here. You can always grab onto it with your hand if you need a little assist. And we're going to look over the left side. Inhale, sink a little deeper. Arms coming out, head going to the center. Take the opposite arm, bring it onto the opposite side and look over that shoulder. When you're ready, we're going to step up to the front of our mats, bringing that leg forward. Shake out those legs, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we're rising up to that mountain pose. Bring the arms down by your side. Engaging that core, we're going to shift the weight onto the right side of the body. We're going to lift up that left leg, left knee. Find the focal point, find a spot you can stare at. Inhale, we're going to start to hinge the hips, keeping that leg up. Light bend in the right knee as we go into warrior three. You can push past your fears. You are stronger than this. You can step on back into that nice low lunge. Check the knee, make sure it's all in alignment. Arms up over the head. You can cactus the arms if you like, or we can take that bind by bringing the fists together, opening the chest. You heard that one, right? I lost my breath there. That's how open I went. Inhale, come back to that lunge. Bring the thighs down so both knees are on the floor. We're gonna bring the right arm back for half camel. Bringing the arms forward, my right arm is gonna come down. My left leg goes back. And we have stargazer pose, so if you can get your armpit to drape over your head, just what you want, your armpit that close to your nose at this point in the practice. And keep it there and try to look at the fingertips. And we'll go into that downward dog from here, dropping the hands and the feet. And we take that vinyasa of choice. So I'm going in the chaturanga, up dog, and downward dog. Option to take that child's pose. We're gonna go into the same flow we just did. We're gonna do our left and our right side, but I want you to sync your breath up with your movement. I will cue the inhales and the exhales for you, and we'll just try to move one breath, one movement. If you need more time in a pose, totally take it. Just take the challenge today to push yourself outside your comfort zone. Push past that fear. And let your creativity flow. Be fluid with it today. Let the body move. Let your body take over whatever's inside. So let's get back up into our downward dog here. We're going to start the flow, so we're going to go into wild thing. So again, bringing the knees bent. Right leg extends, opening up the body. Exhale, back to downward dog. Inhale, bend the knees, left foot comes out and opens up. Exhale, back to downward dog. Inhale, the right leg comes up in the air. Exhale, you stack the hips. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, bring the thigh forward into a lunge. You can either rise from here, we're going right into warrior one. Arms up over the head, line up those hips. Deep breath in. Exhale, we open to warrior two. Inhale, we're going to bind the arms together however you can. Exhale, it's a humble warrior. Inhale, we root to rise, keeping the legs bent, arms forward. Right palm flips up. Exhale, we go into our reverse warrior. Inhale, we come up into warrior two. Exhale, we turn the feet, fold into that nice wide-legged fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we're going to rise. We bend the knees, push those hips up. Exhale, we sink into goddess. This one's going to be short, don't worry guys. So bend the knees. Inhale, we take that arm, we hook it around the thigh, and we look over your shoulder for that twist. Push the air out. Inhale, back to center. Deep breath in, we go for the other side. One breath, one twist. Exhale, we coming back to goddess. We're going to step forward. Fold. So inhale down here. Exhale, halfway lift. And drop. Deep breath in, we're going to rise up to that mountain pose and bringing the arms down. Shifting all the weight onto our left foot, we're going to bring the right thigh forward for a breath. As you exhale, we're going to go into that three, the warrior three. And then we drop the back leg down for our crescent lunge. So keep the knees on the ground, just arms up over the head on the inhale. Exhale, we cactus the arms. Inhale, keep the arms here, or we can go for that bind. Bring them back. Exhale, release. Inhale, we bring the thighs down to the ground so both knees touch. We bring the left arm up, going for that camel on the exhale. Inhale, we come up. Exhale, left arm comes down, we open up for our stargazer pose. Exhale, we go into our downward dog. We take our chaturanga here. So inhale, we go down. Exhale, we open up. Downward dog. Take a second to get situated. Let's go to the other side. So we're going to start with the wild thing on each side again. Bending the knees, looking forward, deep breath in. As you exhale, open up the body into that wild thing. Inhale, we come back to downward dog. Get ready. Exhale, we open up to the other side. Inhale, let's come back into downward dog. Exhale, we're going to bring the leg up, stack the hips. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale, drive it forward to warrior one. Rise, push the foot against the ground, arms come up. Deep breath in, and as we exhale, we open up the body into warrior two. Inhale, we're going to grab the arms, bind them together however you can, and exhale, we go for the humble warrior fold. Inhale, we root to rise. Warrior 2, we flip the palm up on the inhale. As we exhale, we push the body back into reverse warrior. Inhale, we come up into warrior 2. Exhale, we pivot the feet. Fold the body for the wide leg fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we bend the knees, rise up, and sink in to goddess. So take a second here, take that bind if you'd like. Inhale, we're gonna bring the right arm over and look over the right shoulder. Exhale, we come to center, switching sides. Left arm, left shoulder. Exhale, we come to center. Deep breath in, we step forward. Exhale, we forward fold, let it all out here. Almost there, guys. Inhale, we halfway lift. Exhale, we forward fold. Inhale, we rise the body up. And we're gonna shift all of our weight onto the right leg. Left leg will rise on the inhale. Exhale, we push the leg back into warrior 3. Inhale, we drop down into that low crescent lunge. Keep the arms up over the head if you can. Deep breath in and exhale. We bring the shoulder blades together for that cactus. Option to stay here or on your next breath. We're gonna bind the hands. Exhale, open the chest. Inhale, we're coming back with the knees on the floor. And exhale, we take the left arm back for half camel. On your next breath, we're gonna put the arms down to the ground, cartwheel them down, and open up into stargazer. As you exhale, you bring the arms down into our downward dog, and we take our final vinyasa. Chaturanga for me, upward dog, downward dog. And I want you to slowly lower yourself down all the way to the ground until your belly touches the floor. Cross the arms, drop the head. We're going to take a crocodile pose to rest. And press your hip bones in to the mat. Actively kind of like thrust your hips in. It's going to help align your spine. You can turn your head to one side and just breathe. Thank yourself for showing up and completing that flow, even if it was challenging for you at some points. Lining up the breath with each movement. We're overcoming the fear. Creating something out of the ashes of that fear, transmuting it into something new. Okay, you can turn your head to the other side, so rest the other hand on the head. Okay, we're gonna get ready for the last few poses. It's gonna be nice and slow from here on out, I promise. I broke a sweat there. So I want you to take your arms. We're going to tuck your elbows in right by your armpits. So if you're squeezing paper in between your arms and your torso, it should not fall out. That's how tight it should be. Your hands should be underneath your armpits. And we're going to rise up into a little baby cobra. We're going to bring the arms out into Sphinx. So this is where we're going to stay for a few seconds just to recuperate. So my elbows, my shoulders are lined up. It's a mini back bend, and squeeze your glutes a bit and look forward. Keep the gaze forward, but you can close the eyelids if you would like and just take a few seconds to go inward. You can find some affirmations here. I move with confidence. I am brave. Repeat that out loud or say it in your head, even if it seems silly. Let yourself hear yourself say it, that you are strong, that you are brave, that even if you're experiencing fear, you can move through it instead of avoiding it. You push through it to come out different, changed on the other side. Okay, we're gonna lower ourselves back down to crocodile pose. We're gonna do some shoulder openers here. So for the shoulder openers, this is basically a pose that's originally done with your arms kind of cactus. I find that can be intense when you do it that way. So my option for beginners, or if you feel like your shoulders are a little tight, you want to keep the arms straight out. So I'll demonstrate on this side what I mean. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take the right arm. I'm gonna show you straightened out. And we're gonna push the left palm onto the ground and kind of shift your weight onto your right side. You'll feel your entire shoulder open up a bit here. If you want to make it more intense, you can bring the left leg over so you have a full opening. Now, if you want a deeper opening, you're going to bend your arm, like bend the elbow into a W shape. But my shoulders are really tight right now, so I'm going to keep my arm extended straight. If you have a block, you can rest your head on the block or drop the head down. Just sink into whatever you're feeling. Hold it for 2 more breaths, and then we'll switch sides. Okay, shifting our body slowly back to the center position. I have dirt on me. We're gonna go to the other side. So I'm extending my arm out. I'm pushing my palm down on the right side to shift my body weight onto my shoulder cap. Again, if it's too intense, you can keep the legs the way they were. You don't have to bring the leg over. Option to take a bind if you want. You can bring the arms together if you can. I can't, so I'm gonna stay here, but I think I've said bind like 11 times today. And 2 more breaths, and we'll come back to crocodile pose in the center. Slowly making your way back to that crocodile pose for a split second. We're gonna rise up, push the palms to the ground, and we're coming back onto our knees in hero's pose. Again, take the block if you need it. I just want to do one last heart opener. Very, very simple. If you need a block under you or blocks behind you, you can take that option here. We're literally going to bring the shoulder blades back, squeeze them together. If you can't reach the ground, this is where the blocks come in, and we're just going to open up the body, open up the chest one more time. So again, you can bring a block behind you, you can bring 2 blocks to rest. You can bring them on the high setting. Find what works. And repeat those affirmations here. That fear and any self-doubt that you have, they're blocks that we set for ourselves. Other people, other situations, other circumstances, they don't set those rules. Those are fences that we put up in our mind to stop us from trying something new or putting ourselves out there. We create the fear. We create that self-doubt. And it's okay that we do that. Don't feel bad. Don't feel judgment over it. Our subconscious, when it wants to change or it sees change, doesn't like it. So to make ourselves feel safe, it puts up a lot of walls. So it's a natural process. Don't feel ashamed. Don't feel judgment over it. Just be aware of it. Be aware of any fears, any blockages that you've given yourself. And come out of the pose slowly back into hero's pose. And we are going to sit on our booties. We're going to go into some seated twists. So for these, you can shake out the legs, Bring that right leg into your chest and cross it over. And we'll go into our seated twist. And again, expanding on what I just said, if you can think of anything, maybe close the eyes. Feeling your chest open in this twist, try to connect to what your heart is saying. What blockages come up? What dreams do you have that you're holding back on? And just become aware of it. If you need to write it down, you can as well. Coming back out of that twist, shake out the legs. We'll bring the left thigh into your chest and cross it over. Hooking your elbow or pressing your forearm against your knee to open up into that twist. Slowly coming out of the twist, bring the legs straight. We're gonna go for a forward fold. So if you'd like, you can put a big block in the center of your thighs, or you can just do it without the block. So keep the core tight. Arms come up over your head. Inhale, lengthen from your ribs. Feel yourself grow a little bit taller. Then exhale, we fold, grabbing onto whatever you can. You can use the block to rest your head. Inhale, see if you can lengthen a little bit more and maybe go a little deeper. Take all the tension out of your neck. Let the chin drape heavy. The back of your head should fall closer towards the earth. Take our last few breaths, see if we can go a little bit deeper here. We did a lot of chest openers, so we're folding forward to balance it out. And slowly rise up. We're gonna make our way down onto our back. So I'm scooting forward and I'm gonna go down with control. Don't want to plop down, so roll the shoulder blades back, slowly come down. You can use your legs to assist you. As we make our way onto our backs, you can windshield wiper the thighs side to side if that feels good. You're gonna hug the knees into your chest. If you would like to take any last twist, you can go ahead and do supine twist or anything you'd like. We're gonna start in a half happy baby here by bringing the soles of the feet together. I love hip openers. I feel like we didn't do that many in this class for once. And when you're ready, you can go into a full happy baby if that's in your practice today. Rock side to side, massage the spine a bit. Sometimes I rock too far to one side and I'm like, this is it. I'm not getting back to center. This is where I stay. Bring the legs down slowly. Take any last movements you feel you need to take. If anything is calling to you, any twists, any bends, any stretches that you want to take from your back laying down position, go right ahead. But we are going to get ready for our Shavasana. Bringing the legs down, we're going to rest however you want. Come back to the body here. The only thing you need to focus on is what's happening in between the four corners of your mat. So just make that your focus for these last few moments together today. Going into your heart center. Invite that energy into your heart here. Just imagine a green light coming from your chest, and it grows bigger and bigger as you breathe, so every inhale fuels it. Every exhale expands it. Just feel that green light getting bigger and bigger and spreading over your body as you lay here. Feel it expand down your arms into your fingertips. Feel your fingertips tingle. You can feel it expand downward into your legs and your toes. To your head and your heart. And even outside of your aura, just see it expanding bigger and bigger. Inside your room, your space, to your city, all the way around. And just feel how good it feels to give yourself to the world. Give your love to the world. You are unique and you have gifts. Take some time to think about how good it feels that you can leave your mark, your uniqueness on this world. Start to come back to your body here. You can move the fingertips around, the toes. Just become aware of where you are. If you would like, you can take one last lion's breath to release anything you're still holding on to or feel came up during this practice. Just bringing it in through the nose and then releasing it with the ha feeling. And take one more big deep breath in through the nose. And let it all out on that exhale. And slowly start to roll over to your side here into that fetal position with your eyes closed. Prop yourself up to seated when you're ready. Keeping the eyes closed if you still can, just for a second. Anything that came up today, any realizations you've had about something maybe you have inside that you're not expressing, something you used to express that you miss, or you've become aware of any blockages or fears that are stopping you, is amazing. You can write that down to remember. And thank yourself for showing up today, digging a little bit deeper into yourself. And just know that you are valuable and you have a lot to offer this world. And you can create anything from nothing. That's your power. You can open your eyes when you're ready. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys have a great day, and namaste.